Now, in this segment, we'd like to look at the development of a young man a little bit differently. And this is the development that begins to create some challenges in relationships later on in life. I do want to say that there's no judgment. We're not holding the traditional model up as perfect or this is the way it should be. We're, as life coaches, simply interested in dealing with what is. So in this scenario, I'll ask Rama to move over here and represent a father who's emotionally or physically unavailable. There's an infinite number of reasons that this might happen. He might be deceased, in very poor health, any number of reasons that the father could be emotionally or physically unavailable to offer that energetic pull toward masculinity. So we have the young man in the sphere of influence of the mother without a pull, an energetic pull toward masculinity. This is, of course, assuming that there's no powerful role model, masculine role model for the young man. So in this situation, out of love, a young man, even a very young boy, will tend to look at the mother and see a need, see a longing. And out of love and loyalty, the young man rises up and has the feeling, I'll do it for you, Mom. I'll be your man. And it could be that that's reinforced by the mother. Oh, you are my little man. I depend on you. You're so important to me. The difficulty arises because inside the child, there's the knowing, I'm not really big enough. And there's the ache, I just want to be a kid in this situation. The responsibility is overwhelming. So even though the heart wants to be there for the mother, and the child may well be there for the mother, inside there's that feeling, I'm really not big enough. And that I'm not big enough, I'm not good enough, tends to carry forth in life. Another significant factor, now I have not had a role model, a father, to help me establish internal potency, internal masculinity. So my masculinity depends on my mother. And there's a tendency to look at women, mother first, women later on in life. How am I doing, Mom? Am I doing okay as a man? So you see that the masculinity depends on the feedback from a woman. So rather than a man acting out of potency, this is who I am, he's acting in a sense to get feedback from women. His power is dependent on women. So this can look like any number of types of behavior. But on one extreme, we have the man that's totally dependent on the woman. He can't make a decision. The woman may keep the checkbook in the house and pay all the bills, make all the decisions. She may even be the breadwinner. Or, on the other extreme, we may get a man who gets power by pushing against women. So this might be like we think of a teenage rebellion, a man who's always rebelling the desires of his partner. It may be an abuser who only feels powerful when he's expressing power over a woman. Or it may be the serial seducer, the sex addict, who only feels powerful, no matter what his status in life, he only feels powerful when he's getting power over women by seducing them. So I think you can see how this creates problems later in the life. It's important to talk about the difference between power and potency in the masculine sphere of influence. The issue here is power expressed through potency. Potency has to do with being influential and having the ability to act effectively. When power is expressed through potency, then power has to do with right action, being effective in action. It doesn't have to do with control over other people. A mama's boy typically operates at the level of power that arises through manipulating or pushing or pulling against women. On the other hand, a father-son who has internalized his sense of masculinity is potent. He has the ability to act efficiently and effectively.
When a mama's boy spends his energy trying to control or manipulate the women in his life, he invariably finds himself feeling resentment towards them, whether it's his wife, his daughter, his mother, co-workers. A new choice that mama's boys can make is to learn how to recognize that resentment when they're feeling it and make another choice. Own it as theirs and not as the problem of the women in their lives.
That's right. It's a powerful breakthrough for men when they can feel the resentment that they have toward women that's driving us, and then make choices from a new way of acting from that level of understanding. It opens the door to move to more love